Giants, the team that plays to win for you and me.
Yes, welcome back, Shimboners. On today's pod, we will be recapping the game that's just finished against the Giants. All our usual segments, the biggest takeaway, the Basti, the votes are heading right up. We've got the watch list and, of course, your listener questions. To help get me through it, we've got the big Chief. Chief, unfortunately, neither of us were able to make it work to be able to do a preview pod, so we've got a little bit more than usual to discuss on that front as well. How are we and how are you feeling?
I'm a bit flat because we just turned the telly off and North were competitive for probably half the game and they're just outclassed for the other half. Is that fair?
Oh, I think that's fair.
Okay.
We're going to shake it up a little bit, so we're going to start with our player numbers. Now, obviously...
Start with some positive.
Yeah, so obviously last week was episode 133, and we ran out of time to get to those numbers, so I'll go first. Pretty slim pickings for me personally, because of course we're only picking players that we've seen. Braden George, I think, will eventually be the man, but at the present time, it's probably Matty Campbell, Flash, who paired up for a few seasons there with Lindsay Thomas as an electric small forward, and we could absolutely use him in our side these days. Who's your favourite number 33?
Well, I'll raise the bar a bit, with all due respect, and go for Freddie Allison. Brett Allison played between 1987 and 99, two-time premiership player. Mark of the year in 1991, back when the G was being rebuilt against the Pies, stood on someone's shoulders. And it's on YouTube for those younger listeners or those who want a little refresh of what it looked like. Fantastic. 219 games, 276 goals, crafty half forward. Our family nickname, because we like the family nicknames. It was Swooper, because he used to swoop in front and centre and gather the ball on the run at top pace and finish on his left foot. Also, my late mother's favourite North player ever.
Yes.
Ever. Number 33.
Heard a lot about Brett Allison growing up. Of course, I did.
He was her favourite. Also two-time pre-season. We don't mention the pre-season premierships enough because...
No, nor should we.
Back in the 90s, they were a bigger deal back in the 90s. Anyway, well, you always hear about Dermy, five-time. Well, he was a two-time. And that rolls right into his teammate for number 34. I'll keep going. David King, one of my favourites. And he was a mature age recruit. I think he was 21, but back in that day, he was mature age. Came over from Port Melbourne. And I remember watching one of his first games. He had a one-on-one out in the wing. I think it was against Wood from Hawthorn. And he was probably in a 40% chance to win it. And he won it. Like, he was slightly behind and just willed his way to the front, showed the skill. And he was just a competitor. And I love the competitors. And he was very competitive, very good on the lip, but more importantly, a very good footballer. And he also was a two-time. And he gave that run and dash from half-back on the wing, which is where he started. And as you saw in the 99 premiership, he was playing midfield. There's a bullocking midfielder and just gave the run and dash and dare. Think of Colby McKercher, if you like, to go in today's team.
We could have used him today, Kingy, I reckon.
Yeah, well, we need a couple of Colbys because he takes it on, and that Kingy certainly took it on and didn't mind a long goal. And he had the famous soccer goal from inside the square at, probably called Colonial Stadium back there. It's called Marvel today. And I think he had two soccer goals. Maybe even in the same game. But anyway, I'm getting off target. He was very good. Played 241 games and kicked 145 goals. And is a true Shimboner.
That he is. And now he's a media juggernaut out there
Yes.
with the first crack in
Best in the business, in
my
my
favourite
opinion.
program, Fireball.
And he'll go hard on North. No favourites with him.
No, exactly right. My favourite number 34, long time boners, remember, back to when we did 34 last time, but it hasn't changed. It's still Jackson Archer for me, young Arch, and another one that we solely miss out of the 23 that played today. Really could have used him, but unfortunately, ever since that ridiculous suspension, his season's been derailed by injury. So
Yes.
looking forward to see him get back out there. But let's focus
Another
on...
true Shimbone. And just for the those who haven't been on the journey the whole way with us, you started the pod, and we didn't really do the numbers until we actually got to 34, and then we thought, oh, that's a good idea.
No, I think 30 was our first
I
one.
was too, because I had John.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I had Jared
so
Wade.
it was around yes, I was very close to this. So we're going over old ground, and I had Kingy there, but he gets 2 mentions.
Yeah, exactly. But it's always good to revisit, see if it's changed. But no changes for us. But we'll continue to go through our numbers. Right, let's crack straight into the game then. And of course, as I mentioned before, we didn't get a preview pod out. Apologise for that. But on Friday night, we saw 2 debutants named in Cooper Trembath and Geordie Payne. So we'll talk a little bit about their games. Let's start with Trembath first. What a game from him, and is there a harder start in football than debuting and getting Sam Taylor matched up?
Yeah, probably the best fullback in the business.
Not probably. He is for mine.
Yeah, I think it was him or Harris.
He or
isn't
Harris,
it?
yeah.
Harris Andrews, that is. Anyway, yes, very, very tough, outsized. Didn't really have a lot of tall representation forward. And to kick 3 on debut, there'd be a short list ahead of you who've kicked better than 3 on debut.
I'll tell you what else he did. First kick, first goal.
Yes,
he
joined
that club.
Exclusive club. Yes, very good.
So he had 6 disposals, but he kicked 3 goals, 1. Nice crumbing goal. His third goal, he floated and actually got blocked, which probably would have been a free, I reckon. But he clunked it, took the mark, and
got good hands.
finished his work off.
Competed well. A bit undersized in our 40s. Probably a third tall height is how I'd like him to play in our best team. But apart from Teakle up there, he was probably the next tallest.
Well, we'll touch on Teakle later.
Yeah, well, it won't be.
I've got some thoughts there, but
I think we both have.
Geordie Payne, the other one. We love to see it, obviously, from the Apple Isle, Tassie. We always have a bit of a softer spot. We love all the players, but particularly those from Tassie.
Do you think Trembath had a tough matchup? He had Himmelberg on him, and Himmelberg's about a foot taller than him. And
just as quick.
And yes, so he had a horror matchup, and they kept kicking it to him a lot, but he competed hard. He was never going to beat him in the air. It was going to be too tough a task. But I thought he competed well, and if you're matching him and Casanti, I thought he had a better game than Casanti.
Yeah, I agree. I thought JK, we'll touch on him in a bit more detail, but after quarter time was solid, but he just drops too many marks.
Yeah, we're not in the watch list. You're jumping ahead. Plenty on him in the watch list.
But both those debutants kick goals, great to see.
Yes.
Always a good moment, and I'd be playing them both for the rest of the season.
Yeah. Yes.
Right, so let's get into the match review. What was your biggest takeaway from today's 54-point loss?
Oh, gee, it was just... there's nothing positive, really. I think Trembath was positive. It
doesn't have to be positive, the biggest takeaway.
Yeah, they outnumbered us too often on the outside, didn't they? Like, there'd be 3 on 1, or sometimes 3 on none through that centre area. And anyway, we'll go in detail, but that's my takeaway. Our midfield could not defend their spread.
Yeah, well, that's similarly aligned to what I was going to say. My biggest takeaway is probably that when our midfield have intent and desire to defend, we look a much better side. So you saw that stretch, the second half predominantly, take out the last 5 minutes of the last quarter, but we were the better side. And that was due to intent to defend from our midfield. And when we blocked off that from the Giants and then started to win our own ball out of clearance, we looked a much better team and really put some scores on the board against the Giants.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's my biggest takeaway. Anyway, let's get into talking about the game a little bit more in detail. So I only took notes for the first half. But someone who I want to really highlight, and I thought he was instrumental in the first quarter, and I thought was a constant four-quarter player, was Luke Parker.
Yep.
Really enjoyed his work in and under. He had 3 or 4 clearances just in the first quarter alone, set the tone in a side that had 10 players under 21 or 21 and under. It's so important for leaders, and he was leading the way from the first bounce.
Yeah, exactly. And he's obviously still got the Sydney hatred of GWS because he came to play, as they say. What have I got? Yeah, I thought he was good. I thought Griff Logue was pretty good in the first quarter. He took a few intercept marks. Trembath, as we touched on, joined the exclusive first kick, first goal club. But I've got a lot of negatives.
Well, I'll start first. I thought the application was good, the effort was good, but we're too fumbly, and our skill level just lets us down far too often. Simple handballs that we miss. It's the same old story, week in, week out.
Yeah, because Sandy had a couple of horrors. There was one, he had a loose ball. He just couldn't pick it up. I mean, he's 5'0". He should be able to pick it up off his toes. And he had I think it was Colby on his right foot hit him up, and he just dropped the put coming out of defence. You can't do that. It's a basic AFL mark. It's just very disappointing. LDU had a couple on the wing, had some fumbling errors, just turned the ball over, so they got it. Should have been going our way into our deep inside our 50. Instead, it goes their way.
He had a really interesting first quarter because I thought at times he was electric, and then at other times, as you mentioned, just simple fumbles.
I had him second best on for us in the first quarter, yet I've got him down for that horror mistake. Well, you just expect better from him. I mean, he's a skillful player, but he had a couple of skill errors, what I would call basic AFL level skill errors, and we're going to call Costanti out for it. We're certainly going to call LDU out for it. And a couple of times, Foss was open coming out of the defence in the centre corridor, and he was just ignored. And the only one, I know it wasn't Colby who had the ball because he will take that kick on, but I think it was Daniel ignored him at one stage. I think Griff Logue had the mark and just, he's too slow when he does get an intercept, fantastic. He's too slow to move it on. And yeah, it was an easy kick. It was 20 metres clear in the corridor. And you hit that kick, they're the kicks GWS are hitting, and it opens the whole ground up. And we know he's a good user, and he will find the best option, not necessarily the first option. It's so frustrating because he's doing the work to get there. He's running the 50 metres to get free to be used, and they're just not using him.
No. The only one who does is Colby, and the other man who we like seeing ball in hand is Riley Hardiman, and unfortunately he got concussed early on in the first quarter and ended up being subbed at quarter time with Bailey Scott coming on. But the most heartbreaking part out of that is missing his run, but also the fact that you and I won't be able to see him next week when we go down to Hobart.
Yeah, it's a big blow because I really like what he brings to the team.
And just looking at the VFL, I'm not sure who comes in to replace that role. So I think I'd love to see Tom Powell play. He played most of the game on the wing today. I'd love to see him play off half-back. I think he's a good decision maker with time, good user with time. As I mentioned last pod, that I think he dump kicks a little bit too much in the midfield, but half-back time and space, and I think he'd really benefit off there. Yes. As we've seen in the past.
Yeah, like you saw it even today on the wing, though. I thought he was very poor in the first half, but then he got a bit of it in the second. And with time and space, he will lower his eyes and try and hit the best option. He hit JD with probably his worst kick ever.
Yeah.
But at least it hit him. But you can see he has a look, and more often than not, he does kick it well. It's more a low, it's not a high ball in, it's more a bit more of a dart over the 45 metres. Anyway, move on.
I've got a couple other positives. I thought George Wardlaw, his ball use, he had 4 goal assists for the game.
It was fantastic, George.
So, great to see him taking care of the ball a little bit. I suppose it's been a bit of a knock on him in the past, is his ball use, although I think he's still been pretty good. But today, especially, I think he had 7 or 8 score involvements. He was everywhere. It was brilliant.
Yeah, he was hitting targets as that last kick inside 50, which is probably the hardest kick and what you want.
It's the money kick, isn't it?
It is the money kick. Especially if there's a bit of pressure. But he was able to shake the pressure, wasn't he? Get it from inside to out on his own a couple of times, which was good.
And he was the one who hit up Cooper Harvey, who kicked our first goal. And he's just smart. He's just got footy smarts. And I think you can question a lot of players in our side in terms of their footy IQ. But I think Cooper's one that you definitely can't. Like, he just knew to do a little tick lead, hit back up at it.
Yeah.
Get in the ball carrier's vision. They're not really going to check him as a smaller player. But he's just got footy smarts.
No, that's right. Yeah.
And I thought he laid a couple of good tackles today in that first half, which has been a bit of a knock on his game, his defensive side of it. But had the tough task of guarding Toby in the last, which we'll touch on as well. But I thought overall pretty solid. I think he kicked 2 goals today.
Yeah, which, you It's probably what all you can ask for, really. He's not going to be the main target a lot. He's got to get them on the leads or try and crumb them. So,
But as you mentioned,
I thought he was more than serviceable.
yeah, and you mentioned that.
He was certainly our best medium/small forward.
Yeah. You hit the nail on the head when we're watching it, though. You said he just makes the most of his opportunities. So we've seen too often, whichever small forward it is, Jack Marnie, Kane Turner, Jacob Constanti now, when they do get limited opportunities in front of goal, they squander those. But not Coop. He's kicked pretty well this year, so
Yeah.
that's a big tick to him for that.
Yeah, and he can kick them from outside 40. That's what I like. Like, yeah, between 40 and 50, he's still pretty safe. Whereas others, outside 40, you think, they're going to make the distance or it's too long. They're just going to kick longer points.
Right, let's touch on the second quarter because that was pretty dismal, pretty bleak.
Well, I said to you at one stage they're going to kick 8 in a row against us, but they didn't.
I think they got to at least 5.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the number was in the end.
The old orange tsunami was just everywhere and we could not stop it, and it caught our aggressive, assertive defence out too often, and it's certainly comes down a lot to the midfield. That, as I said earlier, they were 2 or 3 on their own, and they can, without pressure, they'll hit the 25, 30 metre kicks.
Especially when playing that system, which I still don't like and still don't
No,
think we should be playing.
I said to you halfway through, Clarko's got to change it, because if they're just going to have the ball walking through the midfield, it's too hard on the defence to try and be assertive and play in front of your man 15, 20 metres and then get back.
Especially when we don't have a great defence in general. Like we don't have a Harris Andrews or a Sam Taylor back there. But I want to give big raps to Toby Pink. I thought he played a brilliant game today. He only had 5 disposals, but his defensive efforts and ability to get a spoil in or a bit of body contact to make his opponent drop the mark, I was really impressed with his game. I thought he was our best defender.
Yeah, like loaded possession, but defend first, and he play. I think he's the one who plays it the best. Our system. I don't know why. He's probably had the shortest time in there.
Yeah, or maybe it's just what he's
To
used
learn
to.
it.
Like Chom's played under a few coaches, but he played in the forward line before that.
Yeah, I don't know, but I just think he seems to do it better than the others. Like Chom, I thought he had some really good moments, but he had some poorer moments
Yeah, I agree.
today. So but it is hard. I don't know what the inside 50s were. During the call, we weren't that far behind. Well, we weren't as far behind as usual. But just the way they were able to bring it in, it was free. They hit, no pressure. They're hitting the kicks. Even under a bit of pressure, they were hitting their kicks. So it's very hard to defend.
So 56 to 46 inside 50s.
Yeah, so that's 10 difference. Well, that's almost, I don't want to say it's a win, but it's better than what we normally give up.
Especially the last half of the season.
Yeah.
That's a big tick for us.
But they were converting too many times going in. I don't know what those percentages are, but I suggest it'd be fairly high, at least for the first 3 quarters. Every time they went in, they seemed to have a shot, and they seemed to kick more than not.
Yeah,
Well,
they kicked a few out of their ass.
They did.
Particularly Stringer. I was glad to see him subbed off because sick of seeing him kick goals against us.
Yep.
Especially when he was in the red and black. But particularly now as well. So, what else have we got here? But yeah, it's just so frustrating, and we have too many players that bounce in and out. But just looking at the second quarter, someone who did get involved a bit more, I thought, was Harry Sheasel.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the second quarter, I thought he was a bit quiet at patches, but
I thought he was one of our better in the first, was he? No, I didn't have him in. Oh, yes, I did. I had him in my votes at quarter time. But then I think he started the second where he was a bit quiet. Then he came into it. Yeah, he was in and out. You don't know. It's hard to tell on TV how many CBAs he's having as to how often he's starting in the forward line.
well, from the naked eye, he did attend a lot of centre bounces today, and last week he did as well without registering clearance. They said on the call, but he had a few today, so that was good to see him back to his best. He had 31 in the end. I thought he was really good, impressive.
Yep.
Obviously, we don't have any notes for the second half, but I want to touch on a few things. So we started to see some momentum. I think we kicked 3 or 4 goals in a row in a really short span of time and got it back to sort of 30 points. Then we could not buy a free kick to save our lives. Harry tackled Briggs in the forward pocket. Zerha had one. There was another one where Lockie Whitfield got tackled inside forward 50. There was a space of about 5 minutes where we just could not buy a free and the rule block got thrown out.
Yeah, all on the forward line. All would have been shots at goal for us. Didn't get any, no love. The other one, the touch, Logue swears black and blue he touched it. I think the commentators even said it was touched.
Lynchy was on the boundary and he said...
Yeah, said it was touched. And the replay didn't show the ball or something?
No, they couldn't zoom it out or something. I don't know.
Yeah, there was some technology failure, but, I suppose that's just our lot in life, isn't it? We don't get a lot of free kicks and the obvious touches aren't getting picked up by the umpires either.
No, exactly right. And it's so frustrating, but I suppose it was so good to see just playing with a bit of confidence. And I thought Colby McKercher off halfback, he was instrumental in that run where we did bring it back to a respectable margin. And we just looked such a better side with him kicking out, getting it back. And then it's a 150-metre play sometimes from him by the time he takes a few bounces and drills it long. And he's become such a superstar for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think even Caleb Daniel, when a few of his kickouts, we actually got it our side of the wing before it was a stoppage. We're actually a bit better than we have been.
Yeah.
Whether that's how they've set up against us or I don't think it was Daniel being extra daring. The space was just there and he just used it a bit better.
Yeah, well, they pressed back. They didn't press up as much as other teams do, the Giants. But
they like to spring off half-back. They didn't get that tsunami. So that was probably more how they set up than our good work. But we did take what was on offer.
But he still has to hit the target. And I thought he was pretty solid today, CD.
Yeah,
We've been harsh on him on this pod, and rightly so. But I was pretty happy with his game and didn't have any zigzag moments where he runs to one pocket, then comes back, kicks it off balance, and it goes 30 metres. He seemed to be a lot more assured in what he was doing, obviously because the Giants were giving a lot more than other sides do, so he had less indecision.
The thing I'd like to see him take, because they're obviously giving us to our offensive side of the wing and then springboard from there, where they've got lots of space to run into or lead into. He did ignore Foss in the corridor a couple of times. And if you give it to Foss, then you can switch the whole defence to there. Because they know he's running to the right pocket and then probably having a bounce or getting it back and kicking long. So you can't give them... They're giving us that. You can't always take it. Sometimes, especially if you got someone like Foss in the corridor, it just drives me insane. Because what do they do as soon as they spring?
Yeah.
They go into the corridor.
Yeah, they change
and they're outnumbered us.
He must have thought he had the Harry Potter invisibility cloak on or something, Fald Foss. He just got ignored all day in good areas.
Well, he must be parking in his spot. Although we don't have parking spots at Owen Street. That's another grind my gears. But anyway. And we're too fumbly for the game. Well, we've probably already covered that. Just basic fumbles.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's pretty much the story of the game. I mean, I don't have any other sort of key points I want to touch on from that second half. I mean, we all saw what happened. But how did you find the ruck battle? Because I thought that was pretty even. I thought X probably just gets the points.
Yeah, I think X got the ball to our mids more often and cleaner. And he got a couple of little... His patented grab it out of the ruck and release a handball. It wasn't his best game, X. But if I had to pick a winner, I think he won the ruck.
Yeah. And... most of our leaders stood up, but I was a bit disappointed with my man. I mean, I rate Connor Iden as one of the better sort of third tall shutdown players, but he had just an almost game. I think kick 0-2. He just couldn't quite get himself into the game. And it's times like that where I did notice they mentioned it on the call, but I'd love to see him thrown into the middle a little bit, especially with how young we were in there at times when Parker wasn't in there with Sheasel and LDU, although he's getting a bit more experience now, but... I would have loved to see the bigger body come in, especially when they've got Tom Green, the clearance machine, in there.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Like, would you?
I would have, and I would have probably thrown Zane down forward when he went in the middle just to give another marking option. We know he's a good mark.
Well, did he? Because Cooper Harvey went to the back line and played on Toby Green in the last quarter, but I didn't really notice Zane at all.
No, I didn't notice him.
Did he go to the forward line?
He probably did, yeah. It's hard to tell on the coverage. But I'd give it another positive. We did fight the game right out. We got back to about mid-30s behind?
I think it was 32.
Yeah,
Back
so-
to,
The boys did fight it out, but yeah, they kicked the last 2 or 3 goals to blow it back out over 50.
But yeah, well, it was 38 or 40 at half time. It looked like it was going to be an 80, 100 point loss. So that is a positive.
Well, we were tipping over 150 points that they'd kick because it wasn't looking good, especially that wave coming through the midfield for them and them hitting the kicks. And they pretty much kicked all their goals they should have, and a couple probably they shouldn't have. As in, that was working for them. They were 6-1 at one stage, weren't they?
Yeah, well, they finished 2013, so
Yes.
133, which is still a big score, but for
Yeah.
what it looked like was going to be...
I thought, well, I think you said 160 and I said 170.
Yeah.
So we did put the clamps on them a little bit, but nowhere near enough. And we did look good at times attacking.
Yeah.
But we just didn't have a key forward who could stamp his game on it.
No, and we spoke about it while we were watching. Like, it's so frustrating because teams score so easily against us, right? Whether we slow it up and get numbers back or we go fast. So why don't we see, and we saw it when we kicked those sort of 6 out of 8 goals that we kicked in that stretch, where we put pace on the ball and
Yeah.
take the game on, because we look such a better side. Like, especially, it's going to be important when we play Richmond, because we're going to have to kick 80 plus minimum to beat them.
Yep.
I think round 10 or whenever we played them when I was at the G earlier, I think it was 92 to 88. So we're going to have to kick a score.
Yep.
So we've got to put pace on the ball against the Tigers, and they've got a pretty experienced backline in that as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how we go, because I don't think the slow approach will work, kicking it long to Bolter and Vlosten and Broad.
But I said to you during the game, let's go fast, because we went fast with North ball and we couldn't defend it, but we can't defend slow ball either. So I'd rather kick a score.
No. And you talk about no tall presence forward, and Bryn Teakle, I wanted to talk about him, so here we go. I thought he was dreadful today. Barely brought the ball to ground. Couldn't get to a contest in the ruck.
No.
So I think it's time. Next week I'd love to see Taylor Goad come into the side.
I agree. I think they're trying. Clarko said, and I believe this was the case before he even said it, they're trying to protect him. But give him 2 games. What's it matter if he gets smashed? Is he going to give up football? Like, you've got to throw him in at some stage. So give him a taste. He's in pretty good form in the VFL. And
Just minimise his ruck minutes if you want to.
well, you got
Play him
X-Pac
forward.
now, so he'd have been a presence forward because we only had JD, Trembath and Teakle when he was there.
But he's just too slow.
Yeah, he's a liability when the ball hits the ground and he's not clunking marks.
I'd 100% play Goad next week. Just ruck him
Yep.
against that second ruck. He's going to be no different to... He's probably going to be worse than a VFL starting ruckman.
Yeah, and he'll drag Bolter or someone like that to him, then you can use a Trembath or a Cam Zerha.
So I'm looking at Goad's game in the twos today. He had 19 disposals, 6 marks and 34 hitouts.
Yeah,
So
that's bring him in while they're in some good form.
could not...
And if he has donuts, well, Larky had donuts.
Yeah.
Like he'll get a couple of hitouts at the very least. So what have you got to lose, Clarko?
Yeah, and if they don't play him, Finbar kicked 3, Whitlock kicked 2 goals, 3. I just don't think that with 2 rounds to go, I don't see a world where Teakle's on our list next year.
No,
so
neither do
I
I.
find it absolutely pointless to be giving him games when you could
Yeah.
put it into Finbar, Whitlock, or what I'd like to see in Goad.
And clearly it's our grand final next week against Richmond. But I still think Goad will offer more than Teakle.
Yeah.
So don't give me, we want to win next week, because I think if you want to win, play more on X Factor Ruckman.
Agreed. Right, so let's get into the votes then, Chief.
Right. I'll go first. I go 5.
Oh, well, hey, you got to do the introduction for the people.
So the vote's in, or for, the most prestigious award in all of the AFL, the Basti. And
Right.
you can go first now, because I obviously made an error.
Right, I gave 5 votes to Luke Parker. I thought he played a 4-quarter game. Really impressed with him. He's been a little bit quiet, you could say. More midfield time though today. Led the way in a young side, and 29 disposals, 5 tackles. He kicked a goal. He had a ton of clearances. I was really impressed with him. So he got my 5 votes. 4 votes I gave to Harry Sheasel. 31 disposals. He was everywhere. I think he had 8 score involvements. Back to his best. The 3 votes I gave to Colby McKercher. 27 disposals. He's running carry off half back and he finishing. I think he's kicked 13-1 this year, Chief. So just get him in front of goal and it's almost a done deal. He'll kick 0-6 next week. Now I said that. The 2 votes I gave to Jack Darling. I thought he competed really well against Lee Lear. Was just a wily veteran using his body.
He beat Lear. I said to you, well, I don't want him because if he can't beat Darling.
Yeah, and that's true.
He didn't impress me. I know it's only one game, but I thought Darling was good.
And the 1 vote, there was lots of options. LDU's probably stiff to miss mine. Toby Pink, I really wanted to get him, but he's stiff to miss. But gone with my heart a little bit here. So for the debut, Cooper Trembath, I'm giving him a vote in the Basti for his performance, kicking 3 on debut against, in my opinion, the best key defender in the comp. So that's what puts him above those other 2 is I think that taking into consideration who he was against, if he was playing against Joe Blow and kicking 3, then okay. But to do it against Sam Taylor, I've given him the 1 vote.
Right, very good. I like it. You've almost convinced me to change mine a bit, but I haven't. I've given 5 to Harry. I thought Parker, I agree, was more a 4-quarter player, but I thought Harry was a lot better with ball in hand. But Parker was still pretty good, but he's more your grunt, crash and bash. And that goal Parker kicked was really good. And I've gone on to Parker a bit in Harry's bit. Yeah. But Parker did get the 4, so I've covered him. 3. Well, I gave it to Colby, and he'd have probably been up there in the 4 and 5s, except for a couple of turnovers. But
not even turnovers, but he had a few kick-outs that just fell short that he just hits usually, which were a bit frustrating.
They weren't. They were probably given this turnovers, but I'd rather him kick it short so they can run onto it than over the head so they get outmarked. And one was where it hit LDU's chest, and for a player of his skill, he should have, like on the bounce, he should have gathered that, and that ended up being a turnover and being goal to Toby Green. Speaking of LDU, I gave him 2. I don't really like it being a midfielder's medal, but
oh boy,
he looked dynamic.
He did.
He had about 4 bounces coming out the front of the centre stoppage or centre bounce. That is elite. I thought when he was good, he was really good. And what brought him down was a couple of fumbly moments, which I've already mentioned.
Before we move on to 1, my gripe with LDU, he looks good when he gets it, but he's only having, he had 20 today. I think he had 21 last week. He needs to get back up into the high 20s, early 30s. Because he creates, he's as dynamic as he is, like you said, he creates opportunity to score. He gets other players open. He runs out the front of stoppages.
Yep.
But I don't disagree with you putting him in the votes. I just wanted to put it out there that I'd love to see him get back to what he was in his Sid year, putting up high 30s.
Yeah, and I gave 1 to my boy George. I thought he was very good. His kicking was good. He hit his kicks inside 50. He was typically aggressive on his tack on the ball.
Had 11 tackles.
Yeah, tackling machine in there. Derby said he doesn't wear a mouth guard, and that's ridiculous. He needs to wear a mouth guard because his head right in the trough. So
4 goal assists as well for George.
Yeah, I thought he was good. And very unlucky, who just got tipped out of the votes, was the debutant, Trembath.
Oh, dare I say it, I think he's going to get plenty of opportunity.
Well, I hope so. 3 goals, and like you said, on a good play. I mean, his opponent had plenty of the ball too, didn't he? But they had the outnumber, and he's a good mark.
He would have been playing on an electrician 2 months ago.
Yeah,
some bloke who might have had too many meat pies. And...
someone who's played 400 in Club Stalwart at Division 3 or whatever he was in. Yeah, he got called up because they didn't have the numbers.
Yeah, and here's Sam Taylor.
Anyway. Sam Taylor's a very good player. We both like him, but he was unlucky to tip out. I thought Griff Logue had patches of brilliance, in like that smother.
Yeah,
the tackle.
The tackle, he was switched on in the second half. I reckon he might have copped a bit of a bait.
Switched on, but he also had patches of, Griff Logue.
Yeah.
He had patches of not so much brilliance. I think Toby Pink, like you said, low possession, but, did pretty well back there. I thought X probably beat his man, but I couldn't get him in the votes as much as I wanted him, so they've really tightened up at the top. Have you had time to do the leaderboard?
No, I haven't, but I can tell you that it's a race between two, basically,
Yes.
isn't it? So X is on 78 because he didn't poll, and with the 6 votes Colby polled today, he's on 76, so 2 votes behind. It's
Wow.
going neck and neck again.
And we'll be there live. Big X against Nank and Colby against probably no one. Or they might put Ryan Mountz on.
Yeah.
A couple of Lonnie boys head to head.
That'd be
What do you
interesting.
think?
I think you're on the money.
Yeah, okay, we'll be there. And you're going to put it on the socials of some sort, the top 10?
Of course I will. That'll be
Right,
up.
keep a look out for that.
So we'll go from the Basti to the list you don't want to be on. You don't want to hear your name now, and that is the watch lists. And we haven't conversed about this because, as I mentioned, we just started recording basically after the siren. But I've got an addition this week.
Oh, okay. Well, we get to the additions at the end of the watch list.
Right,
We've done
okay.
that for 100 and something pods, so we'll keep that rolling. Bailey Scott was on. He came on early as a sub. Didn't do much when he first came on, but I think he worked his way into the game.
Well, I think I've been deceived. Hang on, he's only had 6 touches. He looked like in that sort of third and fourth that he had a little bit more of that.
Yeah, okay. Well,
6 touches in 3 quarters, Chief. That's a no from me. You got to get more of the footy. You played 100 and something games.
absolutely, which I said to you during the call. So it's a no from me as well. Maybe it was just on the ground tackling people, or second
Getting
into the
tackled.
tackle where it doesn't count as a stat. I don't know. Griff Logue. Oh, this is hard because I thought he was good in patches, bad in patches. He had 7 in the first quarter.
He only had 13.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to give him a dash.
I think that's fair.
Okay. Nick Larkey didn't play.
He's out for the season, so
Yeah.
may as well take him off.
I don't know. I'm thinking there might
Rolls
be,
over to next year.
I think we might roll it over.
I like it. I was going to
Especially,
say to you that off air, but I love it.
especially if you're a senior player.
Yeah.
Same with Core injured. The North Lawyers, right? Fair income. They're engraved on there. And you were saying to me, why don't they...
They should have challenged it. Because they got the Windhager one, Libba, and Darcy put some bloke in hospital, punching him in the chest.
Yep.
Thought he had a heart attack.
Yeah,
That
so
doesn't
you're
give
thinking
him-
they should have challenged
Yeah,
BC.
I
Well,
agree.
no way with our lawyers, because if they'd have challenged that, he'd be out for 4 weeks.
Yeah, they would have walked in.
They'd have walked in with their briefcase and, he's gone from 1 week to 4 weeks. North Lawyers are shizen.
They are.
We need to go to a new legal firm.
Yeah, they're delisted.
They're getting their law degree from some third world country by correspondence, surely.
What is it? Arizona University.
Yeah.
One of the worst online university.
I know.
that anyone-
Arizona?
I reckon a chimp could do it.
Yeah, okay. Well, we've got the 3 wise monkeys. There's our lawyers. Cal Dawson played VFL. We have not had a chance to look at
He
the
did
VFL.
F-all
Okay.
from what I saw.
Well, Fisher's still on there. He's injured, isn't he?
Well, what the hell's happening
Yeah,
to him?
we don't know what's happened to him. So, Clarko. Well, we haven't seen his presser, clearly. I didn't think he changed it up enough. But I'm going to give him a dash because the boys did fight the game out.
Yeah.
And we didn't expect to win.
Can we put an asterisk next to that?
Yeah.
Because I'd want to hear his presser.
Yeah, if he tells us that we know they bounced off half back with a tsunami, that won't be good enough.
No.
I want to hear what you're doing to stop it, Clarko. We know what the opposition do because we've seen them do it to us before. Give us something new. Daniel, little mini helmet.
Oh,
I think
I'm
he's
going
tick.
tick.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
tick. I thought he was good.
he didn't lose many one-on-ones.
He's probably another one in the Basti. He wasn't going to get any in my votes, but I thought he'd be in the top 10.
Yeah, great.
The selectors. Well, I'm giving them a tick because they picked Payne finally after 10 goals in 2 weeks, and they gave Trembath a go, which I was hoping they would. And I was thinking with Larky out, they had to.
Yeah, and it would have been easy just to pick Finbar, so I'm happy with that too.
Yes, we've seen enough of Finbar. We hadn't seen anything of Trembath, and he's kicked 3. But they're on watch for next week because Teakelau goed in as a minimum.
If Teagle plays at all next week, they could put across.
Yeah, okay.
Because they've got to play any of them before him. Anyway.
Dill Stevens, I'll give him a dash. I didn't think he was brilliant. I didn't think he was bad.
That goal was nice.
It was nice.
I said, what are you doing, man? You're a left footer. And then he went back and said, this is why I'm a top 5 pick.
Yeah.
Didn't touch it after that.
All right, well, you can try and convince me for a tick if you want.
No, I don't agree. The dash. I agree with the
Yeah,
dash.
you,
Yeah,
Okay, so you do agree.
I do agree.
Now, a big talking point, Costanti. For me, he's a cross.
6 touches, 5 tackles. But he just doesn't...
Well, he had about 9 touches if you count all the drop marks and fumbles he had. He probably had 15. It's just not good enough at AFL level.
When you've played every game this year.
Exactly.
Well.
And the reason I say at AFL level, he's a professional in a professional... Well, we hope it's a professional environment. But he's training 10 months a year at it. Full time. Now, I did a little go aside. I did a basketball coaching course with a very famous NBL basketballer ran the course. And he said, you actually did the course as well, I don't know if you remember.
Nah, no idea.
But you're only a teenager. He said that once you're in an elite environment like basketball, because you're training full time, you got all the professional help around you, you should never get dropped. Like, you should never be cut from a list because you should be improving. It's harder for someone to come from outside in a semi-professional environment to come in and knock you off your spot as a professional. So
Wow. There you go.
Because that makes sense, though,
does.
doesn't it? Because you're training it every day. Whereas these VFL players are working as a plumber or an electrician, and they've got to come in and try and compete with someone who's done it for... Well, Cassandi's had 3 years in an elite system, plus... the under-18s, which is not elite, but it's elite for schoolboys. And we're not seeing the improvement.
No, Trem Barth's come from doing... I don't know what he was doing.
No, but whatever he was doing, that was how he was paying the bills. Anyway, so, yeah, Cassandi, massive cross, and I want him out next week. I don't know who we're going to bring in. We'll save that for the preview pod.
So we can have a look and see who's left.
You see who's left and
PC.
have a think
There
about
you
it. Oh, PC will be back, yes, and Jai hopefully will be back.
Oh, not from what I'm hearing. I'm hearing season over.
For Jai?
Yeah, it's not confirmed, but I've heard, that's what I've heard.
Jeez. All right. Anyway, yeah, you made a good point with PC. PC, I'll keep paying him.
Yeah, I agree.
He showed more than Cassandi, and he's got 10 goals in the last 2 weeks of VFL. Whereas when was the last time Cassandi kicked a goal?
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Well, I think they said on the call it was 5 or 6 weeks ago,
Yeah.
and he didn't have a shot today, from my memory.
No.
And I don't know how many assists he had, but it wouldn't have been many. But he just dropped at least twice. He dropped marks he should take. Uncontested marks on an outlet kick where we need to retain the ball. You turn it over there, it's a goal.
I'm with you.
Right.
Right, I've got some potential additions. Now, I flagged Tom Powell a few weeks ago, but I gave him a Basti vote last week. But I think 4 out of the last 5 weeks he's been poor. He only had 11 disposals today.
Yeah.
That's just not good enough.
Yeah, I agree.
So Tom Powell,
We're both fans of his, but he's gone.
I love him.
He's dropped off.
he has. I think Brent Teagle.
Oh, yeah, well, he'll be off in 2 weeks' time.
Now,
Because you'll be, once you do the list,
yeah,
off.
they're off the list. And then the last one I was thinking, but I don't know whether this is too hard, so I'm going to think it out loud with you.
Okay.
And I don't like putting 19-year-old
Well,
on either.
he's got to have played 2 years.
We put Colby on earlier.
I know. I think we forgot that
Okay.
because he's so good. We forgot that.
Well, I was going to say Zane.
Yeah, I thought
Zane's
you
on
were.
a watch
I think
as
we.
well.
I think we. Well, like top 5 pick.
Yeah.
Maybe there could be a rule within the rule. We're making it like the AFL. We just
Yeah.
do what we like.
Well, let's see how he goes next week then. We've added 2.
When we put Colby on, I think we made the rule your first 2 years as a bottom major, as in out of the under 18s, you're immune. But his form did drop, so.
Yeah, but look how he's responded.
Look how he's responded.
He's going to win the bloody thing.
No one wants to be on the watch list. Well, okay, let's discuss that. Obviously, we get a major say in who wins it. The Basti I'm talking about, the most prestigious. Who wins it from him? We've got...
I think X.
Oh, dear. See, I'm thinking Colby.
I
There's no bigger fan in the world of X than me.
Well, X
Apart
has
from
got
probably Mrs. X.
Nankervis and O'Brien. I think he beats both of them.
Yeah. Although against Richmond earlier, Nank, he didn't have it all his own way against Nank.
No.
Nank's very much a similar style of ruckman, but not as good. And
Although Colby's form is off the charts.
well, it is. I mean, without being disrespectful, it is the easiest spot to play.
That's not disrespectful. It's truth.
Yeah, the half back line, but he's doing it so much better than most others in the league. I'd suggest.
Well,
Certainly in our team.
Lockie Ash has been pumped up as this and that. He was miles better than him today.
Yeah. So I think there's only 2 the difference. Anyway, hopefully X bounces back.
I just hope they both play well.
So do I.
couldn't care
Well,
less
mainly
who
I
wins.
hope we win.
Yeah, exactly right.
That's all I want.
Right, let's get into some listener questions. Obviously, the game's only just ended, so we've got some questions here still to answer.
Okay.
So I look forward to reading these out and getting your thoughts. Right, so let's start with Celiac_Cookie, who says, glad we kicked 80 odd points. Can we play JD as stay at home forward more often? Yeah, he was good
Yes,
down
he was
playing
good.
deeper. Well, he had to take on the Larky role. So Larky obviously
Yeah.
plays quite deep,
Yep.
usually. So with no Larky, they needed JD to play down there. And he didn't have to second ruck, so he was fresher as well.
Yeah. Not
And-
getting banged up by a taller opposition. Worked Lecalier under the ball quite well. He's a solid shot for goal when he gets his opportunities. So, yeah, he's another one that was probably unlucky in the best. He just missed out.
Brad Richard, who makes way for Curtis next week? Personally, I think JK needs a spell.
Well, we'll cover that.
Yeah, he's all over it. Here's one for you, Chief. Puma Pants, which is an interesting Instagram handle. What 185 centimetre plus midfielder can we target in the off-season? Our small-bodied mids are killing us. Now, you raised one a couple of weeks ago on the Rawlings rumour file.
Oh, yes.
You'd like to see us.
Well, I can't remember who it was.
Alex Davies. from
Oh,
the
yeah,
Gold
Alex
Coast.
Davies, 191.
193.
Yeah, sorry, he is too. That's what I said previously. 193. Can't get a game with them.
Yeah.
So I'm not
So
saying
he's fringe. So
yeah, and he'll probably come in as fringe for us. But if you want to change it up and have a big body defensive midfielder in there, you basically take Will Phil's spot. Come in when we're a midfielder down through injury, suspension, or whatever, or form, and he'll get his chance, and he might take it. You look at there's another one who they're talking about who was ex Gold Coast, went to Freo.
Will Brody.
Yeah, who had an electric 5 or 6, or probably 2 or 3 months at Freo when he first went there, and then he's fallen off. Can't get a game with them.
No.
I'm not saying get him, but he's another big body.
Yeah, no.
And what I'm saying is Davies could have that bounce if he came to us or goes to anywhere.
Yeah,
I
agreed.
mean, obviously, if there's more than us in it, he'll probably choose someone else.
Bloody Bartos.
I think he's out of contract too, isn't he?
Oh, I'll have to read. Well, I'll
We'll look
clarify
into
that for the preview. podcast.
Because if we could walk him, that'd be even better.
Bloody Bartos, is it against the law to pay the mighty Royal Blue and White jersey a free kick? I felt like that today.
Well, we don't want to be that pod, but yes.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just frustrating. God's sake.
it is. You want to
All
pull
you
it
want's consistency of the umpiring. And they're consistently bad or biased towards us, whether on purpose or not. We can't say it's on purpose because that'd be cheating, but it's just, yeah.
out. Yeah.
I think it's...
When we're a shit side, we
I
need
think-
a bit of luck.
I think
we just
that's-
don't get any.
I just think they think, oh, it's North, it's half a free kick, no, play on. Whereas when it's a good team, oh, yeah, well, they're a good team, good player, we'll pay that mark or we'll pay that free.
Yeah, I
It
think
just
you're right.
Just shoots me.
Mark loves beer. How many years did Coop T earn today? I say give him a 2-year deal. Slots him, clunks him. Well, I think he'll get at least another one. I don't mind the idea of a 2-year deal. He's a raw prospect. He's only 19.
I thought they were talking about Cooper Harvey.
No,
yeah.
Coop T.
Yeah,
Cooper
okay.
Trimbars, Chief. Wake up.
Yeah, yeah, give him one.
Oh,
Maybe two. But it's one game. That's not,
yeah, you put one in.
I'm
the
not
trigger.
putting, I'm putting the Coleman round his neck just yet.
I would have given him a deal regardless of whether he played or not.
Yeah, I think so, because he's that, and he can play back. We've seen him in the VFL play back, so he's a good hybrid, taller player. Like he's not a 187 centimetre. He's 193, isn't he?
Yep.
So he can go back and forward, plug a hole, and he showed enough for me. So yeah, I'll give him two. Why not? Let's throw the checkbook around.
Yeah. LDs _101. Future's very bright with these kids. We have to move on from the list cloggers this season. I agree 100%.
Yeah, I think we've got to make a minimum 7 changes.
Yeah.
So that's why you might be sitting there thinking, oh, you're a bit hard on Teakle. Well,
They're gone.
they're the people we've got to get rid of to improve. And if you want to keep your Trent Paths and your Harveys, let's just call them your Coops, you've got to make room. We've got to get rid of 2 extra list spots. You've got to cut at least a minimum 3 on top of that. So there's 5 minimum I think we've got to get rid of.
Yeah. Andy J _Lock. Why are we playing Scott, not part of our team in 2 years when we push? I don't get it.
Yeah,
I think there's no one left.
No, I think that's it. I think it's bottom, with respect, it's bottom of the barrel. He has played over 100 games. He does know the system, whether he can still play it or not. But yeah, I think it's just that time of year where there's no one left. Everyone's gone off to have their surgery.
Yeah, they would have played Fisher in front of him, I reckon, if he was right.
Yeah.
So they dropped Hanson Jr. He hadn't been lighting it on fire. Go and give him a full game in the twos.
Yeah.
Well, no, he was the match day emergency. I saw him at the ground.
I see he didn't even play.
No. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's baffling. B. Lee.
Well, here's a question.
Engineering.
Who would you rather play? Hanson Jr. or Scott?
Oh, probably Hanson Jr. I
Yeah.
think Scott's checked out.
I think so. Anyway, that's surprising, but maybe the different roles.
Yeah.
I suppose Scott could cover the back when Hardiman went off.
Yeah.
He could play a defensive role better than
Well, I would have liked
Jr.
to
And
see-
Hanson Jr. has been lining it up, but we know he's contracted next year. And if you had to choose who you're getting a game into, it would be him.
Well, so Scott, but there's lots of noise that he won't be at the club next year
Yeah.
in one way or the other.
But we've seen enough of Scott, is what I'm saying.
Yes, agreed. I forgot what I was going to say now. Oh, Scott, I would have loved to see him play on Toby Green. I mentioned to you pre-game before he was named the sub, because he played on him a couple of years ago and did a really good job on him.
Yes.
But who knows now? Move on to the next question. B. Lee Engineering. Chom's overrated. He gets outmarked one-on-one and goes down too easy. What are your thoughts? I know you'll have strong thoughts on that. So
Well, I don't think he's overrated, but he had good moments today and bad moments, and got outmarked a couple of times by the young Cadman. I think the whole system just needs a bit of an overhaul. The whole defensive system, from forwards, mids, back. I mean, forwards, we don't get enough crumbling ball.
no,
We
and
don't-
there's not enough tackles either.
No, and we corral too much, and then when there's a chance to tackle, we miss it. Like, there's not enough, certainly today. How much dirty ball did they have coming into their forward 50?
Into theirs,
Yeah.
not much.
Oh, it was straight out of the Chinese laundry. It was pristine, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, so, and yes, a couple of one-on-ones, he was out of position. There was one where he was playing in front, and they highlighted on the call, this Chom we're still talking about, on Cadman, and he had to be probably back shoulder. Because they played that press and then the turnover, he's caught in front. And because Cadman just zigzagged him and, just a little 5 metre side to side behind him, and Chom's trying to look where he's going, look at the space ahead, and look at the ball, and he just couldn't do it. And then Cadman gets a mark coming over the top of him. I don't think David Dench could have stopped that.
No, and that first free kick to Stringer was a disgrace as well. He only got the ball.
I can't remember
that was
that.
Chom going back with the flight. Stringer got a free kick.
Oh, yeah, that was
Contact.
soft as butter, but anyway.
Right, let's fire through a few more on X. The boners have been quick to get these questions in. I'm impressed. The North Merchant, are you guys worried about the lack of defensive intent coming from the midfield?
Oh, yes.
110%.
Yeah.
But the thing that pisses me off the most is that they show patches like we saw in the third and for half the fourth, where they switch on and do it, and how much a better side we look when that happens. You give the defence a time to set up and get that dirty ball, not the Chinese laundry, as you mentioned, coming in, and they can be assertive and take intercept marks. So, yes, it's frustrating, and like I said a couple of weeks ago, with that audio clip, which I'll bring next time, I'll put it on the pod next time I want to bring it up, of Matthew Nicks saying, if you don't want to defend, grab your bag and get out, because it's not consistent enough.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is definitely intent at times, but it's also structure and the old bees to the honeypot, or someone has a critical fumble and, we're trying to get assertive and then it's too late. So it's a mixture, but what annoys me is when there is a turnover in our forward line, which you've got to expect. You're not going to win all the ball in your forward line and you're going to kick 200 goals every time.
Yeah.
So, but then they come out with a quick kick or a 45 and they've got 3 out. It's 3-on-1. So something's broken down there, hasn't it? Should be 1-on-1. I mean, ideally we should have one spare behind the ball. That's what most teams set up with.
Agreed.
Yeah, they've got 2. And then our assertive defence are caught 20 metres in front of their man, 30 metres from the man with the ball. They don't know what to do. They come up and try and put pressure on the ball carrier. It's just Chinese checkers over the top.
Yep. All right, we'll keep firing through these. I'm going to butcher this name. While you've been talking, I haven't listened to a word you said. I'm just trying to make sure I don't
I barely
butcher
listened
this.
to what I said.
Hang on. George Apostolopoulos, I think it is.
Yep.
I think I've done it there, Chief. I think I've got it.
I can't see it.
What has happened to Bailey Scott? Any theories on how he has declined so much this year? Well, there's lots of talk that, as we've mentioned a few times on various episodes, that he's going to hang the boots up. So he's got whatever his degree is, he's a very smart lad.
He's a boffin.
He's a boffin. I think he's astrophysicist or something along those sort of high-end, much more intelligent people than us, Chief.
Yeah.
I think there's lots of talk that he might even hang them up, even if he... I don't think he'll play at North next year. I think at worst it'll be a trade, but I think there's a growing noise around the fact that he might hang up the boots at the end of the season.
Yeah, okay.
Which is sad because father-son, and as you and I often say, his first game was his best game for the club. He came on and was the star.
Well, in his best years, he was mid-20s, possessions on the wing, running up and down, being a really hard worker, and our biggest criticism of him was his ball use. Probably similar to Jai Simpkin, if you like. I think Jai had more X-factor and steps, but as in class, but I think Bailey Scott was a very solid B-grade player, but he's not even D at the moment. Well, he's D at the moment.
Yeah.
Isn't he? So I don't know why he's fallen off. I can't answer that.
Brad Russell says, thoughts on Zane's game? Thought he looked lost at times, but will hopefully learn from playing on quality forwards. Trembath looks good, great leap. Yeah, the vision I liked with Zane was when he got obviously pushed off it too easily by Toby, but Logue and Chom came over to offer support.
Yeah. Gave him a bit of coaching.
Yeah, I know. But that might have been a little bit over the top. But too many times we see just the heads bow and no one goes over to, offer support. And it does piss you off at times when they give the pat on the bum and that. But with a young player,
No, you got
I
to
thought
teach
it was
him.
great.
Well, Logue was teaching him how to just body him and something around the waist or whatever.
You know what everyone's thinking.
What?
Maybe we should take his own advice. Maybe we don't want Logue teaching Dursman. We might be in a bit of strife.
You're thinking Logue should maybe get on his man and do that. Okay. But it's good to see that. Now, there's something that came up before we get to the next question. You saw Thursday night Jeremy Howe get knocked out.
Yeah.
And every Collingwood player went over to him, tapped him on the foot at least twice. Once when he was first put on the stretcher and then when he went off. And that made me think of poor CCJ. I think only one player went over to him. And that was very similar, as in the time it took to get him off. And I think that says a lot.
So do I.
Yeah,
I think
it's not good enough.
Culture.
So just at least with Zane, they're getting their arm around him and trying to teach him on the job.
Agreed. Fire through a couple more here. Mitch Lord says, does Cooper Harvey get 29 when Phillips departs at the end of the year? Looks to have finally cemented his spot as one of our dangerous small forwards.
Yeah, I wouldn't put him in the cement yet, but he's looking the best of the three.
What about the 29?
Oh, if he wants it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be available.
Yeah, it will be.
Yeah.
A bit of a on the fence answer from you there. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, well, it's up to him, but yeah.
Brett Hay.
You don't think he's got a big enough weight every time he kicks it? Oh, he kicks a goal. Oh, he learned that from his dad. He did this from his dad. So maybe he wants to be his own man.
He had a bit of shit in him today too. He was fighting and...
Yeah. It was almost brought me back to the Interclub pre-season game where he wanted to fight everyone.
That's right. Brett Hay, I'm cutting both CCJ and Teakle seen enough in one match from Trembath. Let's redraft Goldie on a rookie deal. Go as the backup now. No. I agree with everything he said except Goldie.
No,
He's cooked.
Goldie is cooked and... Yeah,
there might have been. It's hard to read when you're reading messages whether there's
it's probably sarcasm.
Taking the piss or not.
Exactly. But yeah, Goes steps up to second ruck next year, as in backup for X when he gets suspended for some bullshit reason.
Yep.
And we'll probably have to. That's why I keep saying we'll either keep CCJ and hope, or we'll probably have to rookie a ruckman, or maybe go the mid-season, maybe roll the risk with only 2 proper ruckmen on the list, and then pick one up mid-season if one goes down injured, which would be a massive risk.
Well, the club, the board, or not the board, sorry, the leaders, like the president and the CEO, need to say to the AFL, look, we've finished bottom 2, or bottom 3 at best,
for
for
15
the 6th
years.
year in a row. We're keeping our 2 freaking extra
Yeah,
spots.
exactly. Go and fight.
Exactly. We shouldn't be saying can we? We're saying we're keeping them.
Yeah.
Because we haven't improved, and we're
Yeah.
still shizing,
Yeah.
and we're not getting Gary Ablett Jr. and fucking Matthew Pavlich.
Now, percentage took another hit today.
Yep.
So I don't know what that's sitting at, but it's back in the 70s. I wanted it to be mid-80s. Remember, about a month ago, we forecast where can we go? What's a win from here?
72.5 to be
Yeah.
exact.
So we've got Adelaide to come. And Trouble. Or hopefully Adelaide are a game clear on top and rest half their team.
Oh, they won't though. They don't do that anymore.
Nah,
They don't want
'cause
them to
there's
have
a
2
bye.
weeks off.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
they'll have a home qualifying. They won't want them to play once in a month. So
Mm.
unfortunately, we're going to get Adelaide at their best, and they'll
Yep.
be fill your boots season.
And they've
Don't
always
worry
been a
about
good Marvel team, Adelaide.
Right, we might do one more question. Andrew Scalise says, do you reckon we've botched the rebuild? And if so, how do we go about rectifying it? It's pretty damning that we don't have a top 15 key forward/defender drafted. Can't keep topping up in the mid-season draft. Oh, I could not agree more.
Yeah,
This whole build from the midfield out is fine, but we built from the midfield bloody 5 years in a row, just kept drafting them.
Yep. Oh, well, Whitlock's one that could come in next week. This is a bit of an
Yeah, I
out.
said him.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
How did he go today?
Kick 2 goals 3. You definitely. There's proof for the listeners that when I'm speaking, you're off with the fairies.
Well, neither of us listen to each other.
Oh, that's
so,
true.
anyway.
No, he kicked 2 goals 3, and Finbar kicked 3. So I think one of those two,
Yeah, I'd like
or
to.
Goad. I'd prefer to see Goad, but we might see Whitlock or we might see Finbar.
Yeah.
I'd prefer all 3 of them in front of Teakle.
Whitlock's still pretty skinny, isn't he? But a bit like Goad.
He's clean.
Give him a go. But probably Goad deserves a look. We'll go into the rebuild and everything.
Well, I was gonna
not
say
straight
that.
after the game. I need time to think.
No, we're going to go a deeper
In the
post-season
off-season.
pod. Yeah.
Post-season.
So I'll answer one more. I like this from Rude Tragic. He's put 5 different points, but I'll read the last one. Actually, no, I'll read them all. Stuff it. He says, 1, what am I missing that they see in JK? The same as us, because I've got no idea.
Yeah, I've got absolutely no idea, and I don't want to.
Although he did a couple of nice bumps and shepherds and stuff in that when we were on top that
Yeah.
ended up in goals.
I'm not saying he's
a spud. Well,
well.
a complete.
No.
Yeah,
He's playing that role well, but you can't be dropping easy marks.
Yeah, agreed.
and when you're built low to the ground like he is, not being able to pick up a loose ball on the wing.
Point 2, he's put Larky finally has a partner in crime. Hold, 1 game. I mean, the fact that it's on Taylor holds weight to me.
Yeah,
but he's got to back
exactly.
it up.
He should have been in my vote, so I apologise.
3,
There's no way Georgie wasn't.
midfielders disappear and lack of pressure kills our defenders. Agree, we've covered that pretty well. And then his last point is, thank goodness for Darling and Parker. And that's what I wanted to end on, is how important they were as leaders that we've brought in, and even CD.
Yeah, CD.
as well.
I mean, it's just solid. The problem we've got with CD, there's not when you compare to Colby.
One thing that's not spoken enough about CD is that when he was at the Dogs, he had Bailey Dale on the opposite half-back flank doing all the sort of extravagant kicks and taking the game on a lot more as well. So he was sort of just the extra for he wasn't being relied upon to make all the magic off half-back, where he's not really now because Colby's obviously stepped up in that space, but he's come into a shit team with a shit system and
Probably a midfielder that's not working hard enough.
yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, there's an out for him. He hasn't been horrendous. I mean, he's been good, but
It has been horrendous sometimes.
He's still a defensive liability.
Right. Have you got anything else before we finish up?
No, look, get down to Ninja Stadium next week. We'll be there. It's our grand final.
Bloody oath it is.
So we'll do or hopefully you'll get your shit together and we'll do a proper preview.
Oh, we will. Well, I'll say yes. I like this.
Sometimes family gets in the way and work gets in the way. And
I like this from Bo Hawkins, who said, has Brady pulled a rabbit out of the hat with Trembath? Well, even a broken clock's right twice a day, and he's had a stinker in the mid-season draft so far.
yes, yeah. Yes, I can't. Yes.
Yes.
But yeah, I think PC is probably his best work.
I'll tell you a name I hadn't thought of in a while. Lockie Hosey. They were talking about him on Fireball the other day. He cleans Kane's pool. He's a pool cleaner. There you
Wow.
go.
He was our first ever
Yeah.
mid-season draft for those who don't follow it as
Was
closely
it
as we do.
Glenelg that he played for? Because he
Yeah.
won a Sandful flag the year after.
Yeah.
This is right deep down the rabbit hole of North Nuff
Yeah.
chat right now. But
And he was a medium tall forward, which is
Yeah.
what we needed.
debuted at the Gabba from memory. Because most of the games were up there.
Yes. Yeah. Anyway.
Got off topic. Thanks everyone who continues to subscribe and follow. It's the best way to support the pod. That doesn't cost any money. Appreciate everyone who has so far. Helps us get out to more people. And if you know any North mates, throw them our way, and hopefully they enjoy and can listen to some North content to get you through the week.
Yes, and for those who've been wondering where the frog's been, right? We threw the invite out for him to come and participate in this pod, and he was keen. And then we sent him a message. We're starting the pod straight after the game. What's he doing?
He's only halfway through.
He's only halfway through.
He must
Wow.
be thinking, I'm not coming on. We're
Watching
40
on delay.
odd points down on half time.
Watching on delay. So anyway, maybe the frog will get a gig. We'll definitely get him on postseason.
Yeah.
And he said something fairly deep in the group chat. Do you remember what that was?
No.
Some stats. He gets right. He'll come up with some random stats.
He'll tell you
for
all
us.
about how the rebuild's been.
Yeah, we might get him on for. We'll definitely get him on for that one.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Okay. Anyway, enough waffle. It's goodbye from me. Garnakangas.
Thanks for your continued support, guys. Talk soon. Go Roos!
Good old North Melbourne, they're champions, you'll agree. North Melbourne is the team that plays to win for you and me.